Okay, welcome everyone to the Successfit What is Coaching call. We're really excited to have you here. I'm going to share my screen for a minute, but somebody has invited you to watch this, and I think that's such an exciting moment in your life. Somebody invited me 7 years ago to explore this, and it has since totally changed my life. So sit back, enjoy the journey, write down your questions, and get ready to connect with whoever invited you to this journey so that you can get your questions answered and get excited about what the future can hold. Let me share my screen. Excellent. So like I said, what we're really going to talk about today is just kind of all the key elements of what a coach does, what it means to start an online business, and what it means to be a part of Team Successfit, which is our team. So we're really glad that you're here. And I just said that already, so let me introduce our team. Like, we have been around, Successfit was created almost 7 years ago now. Geez, that's crazy. I'm what they call Beachbody old, but it is a very powerful team with over 400 or 500 coaches in it, and it spans all across Canada and the United States and into the UK. And as we continue to grow as a company with Beachbody, we're about to launch into France at the time of this video, as well as 5 or 6 new countries over the next 5 years. So we're moms, we're not moms, we're professionals, we're stay-at-home parents. We are people who have post-secondary educations and people who don't, people with loads of experience in health and fitness and people who have none. And at the end of the day, we are people who are really passionate about living our healthy and most fulfilling life and paying that forward and inspiring other people to do the same. So, what is Beachbody? This is the first crux of what we want to share with you today. Beachbody is a company that was created back in 2008 when it decided to take its biggest programs such as P90X and Insanity, and they really realized, sorry, I'm just going to make sure we're muted out here. We really realized at that time that the most powerful way to impact more people and help them change their bodies was by having friends tell friends about the programs, by people actually doing the healthy and fit decisions, making these decisions themselves, and sharing that with other people. And that was when Beachbody created what we call the Team Beachbody Network. So it was a coach opportunity for people to come in, and you may have heard of some of their other programs besides P90X and Insanity. We have hugely popular programs like PIO, 21-Day Fix, which revolutionized nutrition for people. We have 2B Mindset. We have Hammer and Chisel, Body Beast, Lift 4, Morning Meltdown 100, over 50 plus programs and over 1,100 workouts, as well as different nutrition programs and nutrition products that we get to use as really high quality tools to help other people live their healthiest and most fulfilling life and get the health that they always wanted for themselves. The thing I like to share the most about Beachbody, though, is its heart. It's got this incredible mission, yes, to help others live their healthiest and most fulfilling life, but when it comes to the creation of their programs and products, their heart is in a very high integrity place. Everything that they create is created and never compromised. One of its most popular products, Shakeology, it was created by a French Canadian and what we call a ingredient hunter. They never compromise on the ingredients going into Shakeology or into any of our programs and products. And now it's become a massive international company that helps people like us not only live healthy, but create businesses from wherever we are in the world, and be able to be financially and physically fit. All right, Michelle, I'm going to pass it to you.
Okay, over to me. And I'm actually going to toot the horn of this team because Bria, being so humble, we're actually a top 0.05% team. So we're in the top 200. So Bria is so quiet about that. So out of a network of I think it's 370,000 coaches at the time of making this video, we're in the top 200. So this is a team who is a big team of people who know what they're doing, and we're a team of performance and have a fantastic culture. So that's something I always like to leave there when people are looking at an opportunity is, of course, results always are up to you. But joining with a team that's a high performing team is definitely not going to hinder you. So we have a lot of systems and structure and experience under our belts with this wicked team of women that we have together, and some men, mostly women, but that's always something that Bria leaves out. So I have to put that there. So who can be a coach? So one of the things I really, really love about this business is that when you come in, you can actually be uniquely yourself. So you don't have to look a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way, or be from a particular background. You can actually be 100% yourself. So you can be, six-pack abs, or you can have 100 pounds to lose. It doesn't actually matter. And so many people will look at other people and look at Instagram, for example, and they'll say, oh, well, I don't look like that, so there's no way I could do what you do. If you look at the top coaches in the network, they look completely different from each other and are totally different. Some have side shaved heads, some are plus fitness, some have six pack. So it doesn't matter what you look like and how in shape you are. What matters is you care about living your happiest, healthiest life. That is essential. The other thing that is essential is that you have to have drive. So you have to be the kind of person who likes to accomplish stuff and do it without somebody breathing down your neck. That's very, very important. You can have another job and you can have a full-time job and have a busy life. And in fact, those tend to be the people that make the best coaches because we're used to getting a lot of stuff done. So an objection we get a lot is, I'm so busy. And I don't know a person who ever says, oh, well, I have a ton of time. It comes taped to the side of my day. It's not like that. Everybody's busy, right? So busy people know how to get stuff done. You have to be very determined. So you have to be the kind of person that will fall down 7 times, get up 8, as the saying goes. So you have to be very tenacious and willing to keep trying, because in our day and age, I really feel like we live in a bit of a quitter's society, where people there's always some new shiny thing coming along. So to make it at this, just like any brick and mortar business, if you were going to go into something like that, is you have to be very determined, and you have to be like one of those punching bag things where they can keep getting hit and they keep popping back up. And then having courage. So with this business, I mean, when we think about courage, we kind of think about like a firefighter going into a building and they come out with a person over their shoulder and a baby in their arms. That's what we think of when we think of with courage. When I think of this business and I think courage, I actually think it's not so much courage to do the business, because we're running this business from the comfort of our home or our phone or wherever we happen to be to do this business, because it can go where you go. It's more like courage to get uncomfortable, because we're not firefighters where we're going in buildings and saving people. It's more courage to do the things you've never done before and to get uncomfortable and to keep trying new things and to keep growing. And of course, grit. Grit is probably my favorite thing. I love people who have done tough things and who are willing to keep getting back up. So I could talk for days about this. And so one thing that's really important is to be absolutely yourself and to totally go with that. And if you follow me on social media, you'll know my brand. Bria's brand is very different, and every coach has their own brand of who they are.
I love that. You're right. We all get to connect with our people. I always tell this story about my dad. When I first decided to do this, he told me about a gentleman he knew in a very similar industry with a sign that he hung on his wall that always read, "I'm just looking for the people who are looking for me." And it's been something that has stuck with me over the years, because we're not here to reach everybody. And that's almost where I think the word coach can be a bit deceptive. We're actually a little bit more of like the captain of the team or the inviter of the party. We're here to help bridge the gap and bring people in to an opportunity that they are going to connect with us on. So you're just out there looking for the people who are only going to be connecting with you, that are only going to be touched by your story. And I know Michelle and I have both over the years, and everyone in Successfit over the years have been able to connect with people that individually we couldn't connect with. And so together we get to really make a much bigger impact by being able to relate to other people by being ourselves. So thanks for that. That was a really good share. Pardon me, a really good share. Oh. Okay, so what do coaches actually do? I think, like I just said there, I think the easiest thing to explain is that we invite people to the party. But the most effective thing we do as coaches is run these things we call challenge groups. And we do it either through our private app or through a private group on Facebook. And we help people by first understanding what their struggles are and what their goals are. And we pair them up with a challenge pack, which includes their daily dose of dense nutrition Shapeology to make sure that they're able to push through their tough program. It includes access to over 1,100 of our workouts on the Netflix of fitness called Beachbody On Demand. And it includes nutrition plans and nutrition guides. And of course, in the group, they get support and motivation and coaching. And that's what we get to bring to the table. It's kind of our unique business proposition, right? Where we're the individual aspect of it and what kind of helps bring it to life. So we create these groups each month and we help people get started by picking a program and we help them stay accountable to their program. There's a lot of great health and fitness stuff out there, and there's a lot of not so great health and fitness stuff out there. I'm proud of Beachbody and that they create high integrity tools that we get to use that work, and we're all proof of that. But people staying accountable to the program that they invest in is really what we do and what we get to offer that's so unique. So the most effective thing that we do is inviting people into these challenge groups, running these challenge groups, and probably the other most important thing that we do is stay on our own journey. We always lead from the front. So it's not that we don't go through ups and downs of health and fitness in our own journeys, but it means that we're always on the path. We're always being that product of the product. We're always pushing play on our own workouts, drinking our own daily dose of dense nutrition, leaning into our own, doing our best anyway, I guess, with our own nutrition and showing up for ourselves, even when it's hard, even when we don't want to, even when nobody's watching, and even when everybody's watching. So those are the key two things that we do as coaches. Do you have anything to add to that, Michelle? Oops, I'll go back.
No, I was actually going to say one of my favorite things about being a coach that I didn't even realize. Well, there's like 100,000 favorite things, but one thing that I really love is the accountability, and nothing makes me show up to my workout more than knowing that people are counting on me to log that workout. It's like, okay, I'm the one in charge, right? And like, imagine going to a yoga class. I use this analogy a lot. And the yoga instructor was like, nah, I'm just not going to show up today. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that if you're the one in charge. So the accountability with this is awesome. So an objection we hear a lot to this is, oh, I just can't stay accountable to my workouts. I'm like, be the one who's leading it. Like, you'll show up. Like, it's amazing, that accountability, right?
That's a great tip. So just to sum up what exactly coaches do then, the first thing we do is be a product of the product. We show up first, we lead the way. I like to say we're like Forrest Gump. We're just running. If people join us, great. If they don't, great, because we're still going. We focus on our own mental growth and skill development. So I have a neighbor who's an ultra marathoner, and he said, when I'm like, how do you run 100 miles? Like, that's insane. And he's like, it's 95% mental, and the other 5% is mental too. And it's just true. It's true about any goal or any new business opportunity or anything you're going for. So much about this is mindset. So one of the key things we do every single day is fuel our mind with some type of positive mental growth or some type of skill development to help us grow and continue to master our mindsets. The third thing that we do all the time is invite. We invite people to our challenge groups. We invite people to the party. And, we've all been on the outside of something looking in. And when someone actually reaches a hand out and is like, hey, come sit with me, come on over here, come join us, come meet these people, it's such a powerful way to bridge the gap when we're standing on the outside looking in. Those are the most important things that we do every single day as a coach. And if you're willing to do those, this could be a great opportunity for you. All right.
Okay, common worries, fears, and misconceptions. So one thing I like to say, just to give a perspective on the type of business this is so this is network marketing. And I think one thing that when you're looking at something like this, like a work from home or work for yourself type thing, that sets Beachbody apart is it is not easily duplicatable. So there are a lot of lookalike businesses out there that sell like natural health stuff or skincare. And I'm not knocking it. The stuff is awesome, but it's really duplicatable. Whereas this is not easily duplicatable because it's like Netflix, right? Like nothing's taken down Netflix. Like Netflix is the thing. So that's what Beachbody On Demand is really. It's not easily duplicatable with the super trainers and the network that we have. And the other thing that you cannot duplicate that we have is we don't just sell products. What we do is we create these amazing virtual communities of women and men, and that is not something that you get just by being in a business that sells products. So when we are coaches and we're a long time into this, we have fit families that have stayed with us forever. And that's what I love about it, is it's so different. Is we're saying, come link arms with us, come be in our community, and we're going to support you forever to live your happiest, healthiest life. So when somebody says to me, do I have to sell to my family and friends? I'm like, what are you selling them? Like, you're not selling them anything, because they're coming and joining you. And it's so cheap what we do. So people can actually join us for, like, even if it's the premium stuff, over annualized, it's like 50 cents a day. Like, it's crazy. So when anybody has this misconception that I have to sell stuff, I'm like, oh my goodness. For one thing, what we offer is so inexpensive, and the support is like, you'll never find it anywhere else. So what we're not doing is selling and pushing. What we are doing is inviting and saying, hey, come change your life. And what we offer, everything we offer, honestly, I'm a person with decent business acumen, and I honestly looked into this business so much before I joined, and I really looked, okay, this is not easily duplicatable because of the community, and because what we have is very proprietary. So it's not easily, somebody can't just go copy this. It's almost impossible. So that's what's different. So we're not selling, we're inviting, and we're supporting forever. So next thing people say, this is a really common thing that we hear, is I don't have a big following. Okay, so first off, when I joined as a coach, my social media was locked tight. I had 200 Facebook friends, and I had every privacy setting up that you could possibly have, because I know this is my life, nobody's getting in. So you don't need to start with a big following. So we teach you how to grow your following. And the beautiful thing about social media is getting a following is actually free. I love that. So there's like no cost to starting this. And you can use any any social media system that you want. So Instagram and Facebook are the top ones. YouTube is up there. Email marketing is something people do. So you don't have to have a big following now. So we teach you how to build it. So now at this point in my business, I'm basically tapped out on my Facebook friends at close to 5,000. I've had to delete some. And then I have 10,000 people and growing on my business page. So I'm just a Facebooker. So people on Instagram, again, it's limitless. So we teach you how to do it and how to grow it. So don't worry about that. So you don't have to worry if you know a ton of people, because honestly, like, I live in a town of 18,000 people. Like, I go out my door and I'm like, where is everybody? Like, you don't have to have a huge network. Don't worry about that. Another thing that people wonder about is this a pyramid scheme? With that kind of thing isn't thrown around so much. So you might know a pyramid scheme is like a Ponzi scheme. So first of all, pyramid schemes are illegal. They get shut down. Okay, so this is not a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is quite simply when a business exists and there's just a fee to join and there's never actually any goods and services sold. So if you can imagine, there's a person at the top and they're just collecting all these fees for people to join, and then eventually the whole thing collapses because there's all the people at the bottom don't make anything. This isn't that, because there's actually goods and services sold. And every person that joins has the exact same opportunity as every other person. How you be successful with this is to stick with it and to grow your own business. So your customers are your customers, and we all work as a team. And so the better you do, the better we do as a team. Okay, so this is not a pyramid scheme. So if you Google it, of course you'll find some rubbish out there, because everybody likes to talk rubbish on the internet, right? So this absolutely isn't, and it wouldn't still exist if it was. So did I get in early enough? Okay, so that question is almost silly. Basically my previous question answers that. But another thing, if you're thinking that, again, there is such a massive market out there, because just in North America, Canada has, I think we have around 30 million people, probably more than that, and the US has over 300 million. That is a massive, massive market. And we're expanding. So there's major global expansion plans coming. So we're launching in France again at the time of this video in 2020. And there's plans for more of Europe, for Latin America, for Australia, for New Zealand. So, oh my goodness. Yes, you're good. Don't worry.
I don't mean to interrupt, Michelle, but I think that one's funny because that was your concern.
Yes, it was. I was like, oh, it's saturated. It's saturated. What I quickly learned is I just needed to find my people and my niche and have my voice and connect. And the biggest thing is to stick with it and be tenacious, because what will bring people your way is trust. And what makes people trust you is to continuously show up and be consistent. And then somebody will say, oh, okay, there might be something to this person. Maybe I should check it out. So I've had people from 3 years ago contact me today because they see me consistently showing up. So it doesn't matter. It's you that's going to make the difference. Do I have to be at my goal weight to be successful? I answered that one earlier, so I'm not going to waste time getting back into that. I'm not outgoing. So this might surprise you. So many people will watch me or other Beachbody coaches, or you may not even know they're a Beachbody coach, on social media, and they'll think that they're super outgoing. Like, I post some zany stuff on my social media, and I love it. It's fun. It's who I am. But when there's like a party or a thing, I'm not the life of the party. I'm actually quite introverted. I spend a lot of time by myself. It gives me energy. So you don't have to be some crazy outgoing type of person. And actually, when interviewed, most of the top people in this business are actually quite introverted people who keep to themselves. So you don't have to be super outgoing. You have to be determined and all of the other things that we talked about earlier. So don't worry if you're not outgoing. I'm not super outgoing. And the stuff that requires you to be outgoing, you'll learn it over time. So things like going live on Facebook, it's not something you have to do your first day. You learn to do it eventually. And will I have enough time? I'm busy. So again, we love busy people because we know how to get stuff done, because we're like used to doing like 3 things at once. But what you do in this business to be successful is you need about 10 hours a week to get started. Okay. And those 10 hours can be any time you want them to be. So if you want them to be like early in the morning, you'll put in some time. Maybe at night, you'll put in some time. On the weekend, you'll put in some time. It really depends on what you have going on in your life. So it doesn't have to be a set schedule, but there is key income producing activities that you need to do. Sorry for the business lingo there, but there's key things that you have to do in order for your business to be successful. So when you are working on your business, you are actually working and you're not scrolling social media. And all of that guidance is there for you. So we have planners that we use specific to our business. We have special checklists that we use that are specific to our business that will guide you in what you do. So you have to get those key business activities done every day. As your business grows, you'll put in more time if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to grow a big business, you're going to be getting paid for that time. So you're going to want to put in the time. So Bria is actually full-time in her business, and I don't go to work anymore with 3 little kids because it actually makes more sense for me to do this. So on the time thing, you control it, you work in your cracks of time, and it really is about making it a priority. So I always say you have to give up something you like for something you want more. So when people get into this, they have to give up maybe some of their Netflix time, or maybe they play a whole bunch of sports, so maybe they cut back on that, or put their kids in less sports so they can take some time for themselves to work on their business. So it is really about making it a priority too, because I always like to say time does not come taped to the side of your day. Like, you have to make it.
That's a great thing. And, you know, I built my business in 10 hours a week. And I think that is, and even now as full-time, now that my kids are in school and I'm sort of here full-time, I still am really focused on getting in and out of my business in 25 to 30 hours a week. Tops. And I love that we can do it from anywhere, any place, anytime. But we all kind of start in a time where we have to hustle in the cracks of our lives. So I love that you say that. I feel the need to point out the fact that I used the Mean Girls picture in here. And I did that for a very specific reason, because one of the most common worries that people don't always voice or don't always even realize that they have is what other people are going to say. And I think I had that worry. I actually am so excited to say that in life now, I don't worry about other people's opinions anymore, but it took me a lot of years of being very insecure to get there. And here's what I have to say to you about that, because there will always be people that have something to say about what you're doing. And I think if you struggle with doing something you feel good about because you're worried about someone else's opinion, then you definitely should do this business because you need to work on that. That's something in life that will always hold you back, no matter what you go after, if you don't learn to move through it. And I think that's part of what the personal development, that daily personal growth has done for me, is to learn how to move through other people's opinions, because I want to be successful and I'm not going to let their opinions hold me back from that. So no mean girls. Move on through. All right. So why Team Successfit? What makes this team the best team to partner up with? I swear I had some more images in here, so I don't know why I got to go back there. And for some reason they're not loading, so I apologize. But I do think it's really important that everybody understands this is an entrepreneurial opportunity, that at the end of the day, what determines your success is you deciding what you want to create, you believing it's possible, and you putting the work in to get there. Nothing can add to that or take that away from you. That really does come down to you. I'm not going to be that determining factor. Michelle's not going to be that determining factor. Anyone else who invited you might not be that determining factor. Because at the end of the day, being an entrepreneur and being successful comes down to you choosing to do the things and to grow into the person you need to be there. But in saying that, one of the most powerful things that we do in Successfit is create and share tools together and help you through the hard parts. There are inevitable, what we call transition curves or waves or ups and downs in any pursuit of any goal, but certainly being an entrepreneur in a business. There are so many struggles and wins. And when you have people around you that have been there, that can support you, that can share tips, tricks, and tools to help you move through those things, it's really powerful. We get to have really great retreats together where we bond closer. I know we've been here, right here in Arizona in my house. We've been in Toronto. We'll be even any more places. I've been on cruises with other coaches' families. I've been in Mexico and the Dominican, in Nashville, in Indianapolis. We've been all over, the US and the world together. So pairing up with people who feel like your people, who want to help lift you up and be positive and breathe positivity into your life and remind you of what you're capable of when you're struggling, because you will, is so valuable. And we really do focus every day on sharing the tools, the systems that are working for us. You just have to be the one to choose to pick up those tools and keep going and lean on your support structure when you want them. Do you have anything you want to add to that? So that's why I think it's so valuable to be a part of a team and really lean into that team. And much like if you've ever been through a challenge with us, you get out what you put in. Lean into the team, share what's working for you, share your struggles, and you'll get all that back and more. What's next? Did you want to share what's next? You want me to?
No, I can take it, no problem. So the sign up with this is so inexpensive. So I'm going to put it in perspective. If you were to go out and you were going to start a traditional business and a brick and mortar business in person, and the cost it would take to rent the space and get the inventory and get the stuff, we're talking of hundreds of thousands. If you were a fitness trainer and you were going to go build your own videos, we're talking years and legal fees and filming crews and lighting and sets. Like, it would be ridiculous. So if you're a fitness professional, this is perfect because you get to have all your knowledge, but the tools are there. So it's turnkey. That is what I love about this business. It's turnkey. It's set up. You just get to come in and you get to do the fun stuff. So you don't have to do all the product development and all that stuff that has so much science and millions upon millions of dollars behind it. Thank you, Beachbody, for developing this stuff so we could just come in and run a business. How awesome is that? So people join us with a challenge pack. What a challenge pack is a combo of fitness and a nutritional. So the typical way that people will join us is they'll get the annual Beachbody On Demand challenge pack and they'll get Shakeology. So the cost is $160 US. And again, this is pricing at the time of this video. 160 Great Britain pounds or 186 Canadian dollars. So super inexpensive. So what that gives you is it gives you your coach enrollment fee. It gives you all your workouts that you need, and you get everything you need for nutrition. So you have the tools, and with that, you get what's called a coach online office. This is like your Google as a coach. So everything you could possibly need, like let's just say Successfit disappeared, like heck that would ever happen, but let's just say it did. You actually have everything you need in order to run your business. It's all there. And Beachbody has an incredible set of training and resources for us that I still haven't even tapped into all of it. It's incredible. So the cost is basically risk-free. So even if you just joined us and did workouts, awesome. That's such a good price. Like you get 30 meals with your Shakeology and you get a year of workouts. It's pretty awesome. You're not required to keep any inventory. Everything that your customer orders is drop shipped. So that means that they order it online via your website and Beachbody ships it to their house. So if you're looking at the type of business that requires like home parties and you keeping stuff, it is not like that. All you have is your own personal stuff, which you use as a coach because, well, A, because it's awesome, and B, because you have to know the stuff. So you will want to be consuming the stuff and doing the programs, obviously, because you have to be on a healthy journey. But there's no inventory you're required to keep for customers. I love that bit. There's no cancellation fee. So if you were like, okay, I want to do this, and then a month later you were like, oh my gosh, this is so wrong, there's no fee to cancel. There's no special contract. There's nothing. So you're not roped into anything. There's nothing scary about it. What's next? You contact the person who invited you to view this information. And then what they do is they send you a link for your challenge pack. You start with your fitness program if you haven't already. And then you join a new coach kickoff call and get all your welcome details and everything. So it's a matter of like 5 minutes. It's so easy and there's no risk. So don't overthink it if you're like, wow, this sounds really fun, because there's nothing to lose.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you going to talk about the new coach kickoff call, or did I just interrupt you?
Actually, if you had something to add for that, that'd be great.
Oh, for the training, what's next?
Yeah.
So once you sign up, the first thing you do is get welcomed to our team, and you get a new coach welcome email, which tells you some basic key steps and questions in order to get you started. And then you get moved right into a series of calls and trainings so that you understand exactly what to do to start helping your first people immediately. Our goal is always, even though that low cost investment is low cost, our goal is always to help you get started in that very first month, earning that back and helping people right away. We know that people who get those wins right away start to feel more successful and want to keep going in this and stay around longer. So that's our goal for you as well. And that's the focus of the new coach training and the new coach kickoff call when you get started. And I always like to say to my new coaches, I'll run as fast as you'll run. So if you want to go faster, I promise I'll be there with you to help you every step of the way. If it's too fast and you want to slow down, I'll match your effort. And I think I think for me, that was always a really helpful thing to know. So why not you? When I was considering this business opportunity, I was living in a place that I wasn't very familiar with. My husband started traveling a lot. I had had my second baby, and I had finally gone through my very first challenge and was finally seeing the light at the end of a tunnel. But I knew that I didn't want to go back to a job and leave my kids to be somewhere that was going to require me to be there whether I wanted to be or not. And I struggled a lot. I struggled a lot with all of the things that, Michelle talked about earlier on, with the fears of, I had a big fear of failure. I had a fear of what other people were going to say. I just was unsure of what to do, of what I wanted to do with my life even. But I had this little fire inside, this little light that I just kept thinking, like, why not me? What if this could be me, who, one, inspires other people to be healthy, stays on my own health and fitness journey, and actually creates an income from wherever I want to be in this world? And it was actually my husband who said to me, because I was considering going back to school, I was considering, being a personal trainer, being a group fitness instructor, I was considering all these things. And he just said, Bree, I don't care what you do, but pick something, because waffling wastes time and costs money. And he was right. And the other quote that kind of, I think, clinched it for me to make this choice was this quote I saw on social media that said, if you change nothing, nothing changes. And it just reminded me in that moment, with those two pieces of content coming from my husband and coming from social media, that like, it was my time to make a decision and never look back and lean into the hard stuff and do the thing that was that little light inside of me, because I felt like I was made for more. So why not you? Why can't this be you? And it absolutely can. If I'm a small town girl, and I know Michelle just said the same thing, with a barely there philosophy degree, why can't it be you if it can be me? And that's what we want you to leave you with today, I think, is that there's nothing special about us or unique, except that we're willing to do the scary things because we have all of us together here, and that we're willing to believe in something, even if it doesn't happen right away, and put the work in. I've never been one of those people who's been particularly skilled at anything or had natural talent, but I'm willing to work for it. And if you are too, if you're willing to dream and you're really willing to work, then I 100% believe that this can be for you too. And that's what we have for you today. So thank you so much. Please reach out right away to the person who invited you to watch this, and know that we're here for you to answer your questions, to help you get started right, and to believe in you on the days when you don't sometimes. And we hope to see you more on our own team calls and in this team going forward in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks. Want to say bye, everyone? Bye.